Dear all, today we'll learn single source shortest path. So this is a minimum spanning tree finding method. So in this method, we'll have to visit almost all the vertices through a small or starting vertex. So this single source shortest path is a minimum spanning tree finding method. So sources are defined. From where we are supposed to start the algorithm is already defined, it's already set, it will be provided by the user. Traversing all the vertex is the task. Then negative weights are used. In some algorithms those are not valid, in some algorithms those are valid. Cycles should not be present since this is a minimum spanning tree, so we should avoid the cycles within the graph, and we will try to avoid it. So Dijkstra's algorithm is one of the very famous algorithm used for finding a minimum spanning tree. So this algorithm will have a G, W and S as the input. G is a graph, V is the weights of all the edges in the graph, whereas S is the starting point from where we will have to start visiting all the vertices. So initializing single source for the graph and S will be done, whereas all the vertices are defined to be infinity because starting from the vertex, source vertex S, the distance to all the vertices are almost in vertices distance is almost infinity. So we will create a queue where all the vertices are inserted in that queue. Almost all the vertices are having an attribute of storing the distance from the source. So initially that is infinity. So v dot d is infinity. So depending on this distance, so we will be choosing the vertex for a next path selection algorithm. So what we do is, first of all, we will visit all the vertices until all the vertices in the queue are empty. So this is the criteria where to stop. So u is equal to extract minimum from a queue. So this extract minimum policy will be applied with for the distances of the vertex. The minimum distance will be selected. This is like a greedy method. So we'll be choosing the minimum distance vertex for selecting or going for further path finding method. So once the vertex with the minimum distance will be selected, that will be inserted in a final output set, and we will relax all the adjacent vertices of that vertex which has been extracted from a queue. All the adjacent vertex of u which are supposed to be v are relaxed using relax uvw function. So this relax uvw function will allow us to relax all the edges which are adjacent to u. So to do this, we are supposed to understand what is a relaxation. So in this relaxation, let's assume u and v are the two vertices. U vertex has got a distance 5, whereas v vertex has got a distance 9. So this 5 distance is calculated to reach this view from some other means, from some other vertex, from a source to u, the distance is 5. And v has been discovered through some other vertex, and the cost of visiting v, the distance to visit v is almost 9. But now we are trying to find a distance of v from u. So already distance of u is 5, and we are supposed to find a distance from u to v, that is 5 plus 2 is 7. But already v has been discovered with the weight 9. So if we are getting a distance 5 plus 2 is 7, which is less than 9, we can relax. We'll apply relax algorithm on this and we'll do it. 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. So 7 distance is far better than 9. So we'll use 7, and this is called as relaxation. This function is defined here, relax uvw, if v dot d a distance of v dot d, distance of v is 9 here, is greater than v dot d, u dot d, u dot d is 5 plus weight of u comma v, u comma v is 2. So this 5 plus 2 is small than v dot d. That is why we will change v dot d distance will be changed to v u dot d plus w u v. So this is 5 plus 2, 7 is considered as a distance of v, and this has been assigned. So that a predecessor of v dot pi is u. Previously it was somewhere else. Previously v has been discovered from some other vertex. Now we'll remove it and we will say that now the distance from u to v is better than some other means. And that is why the path has been finalized, because this is a smaller, better, optimum path, and that's why we'll go with this path. Since one more example has been provided here, so u is 5 and v is 6. So going from u to v, we need a weight of 2 for this particular edge. If we apply a relaxation method here, then u to v is 5 plus 2 is 7, and 7 is more than 6. So v has been discovered by some other vertex, from some other vertex, and that is the distance is the weight or the cost is 6. So 6 is far better than 7. That is why we will not go for this. So relaxation, even though we apply relaxation, this is not helpful. So we will not go with this particular path. So this is what a relaxation is, and we are supposed to apply the relaxation on all the edges in this particular graph. So this is an example. So in this example, this graph has been provided. The graph is S, T, X, Y, Z, and the weights have been provided 10, 1, 6, 4 and so on. These weights have been provided, and we are told to start from a source S, which is at the weight of 0, because this is a starting vertex and the cost of visiting S is 0. So we will apply or choose the smallest vertex. So S has been selected, and will relax all the adjacent vertex of S. So all the adjacent vertex, this is T and Y. So T, let's relax T. So 0 plus 10 is better than infinity. So we will write 10 in the place of infinity. So 0 plus 5 is 5. 5 is better than infinity. So 5 is changed at the place of infinity. So because we have found a better path, infinity means no path. Now we have a path with the distance 5 has been discovered, and we'll go for applying 5 to that. The next is, as we said, out of the remaining, so S has been almost visited completely, which will darken, so blacked out this particular S vertex. So after that, the remaining weights of the vertices are 10, infinity, infinity and 5. Out of these 4, 5 is the minimum which is extracted from a cube, and we will choose this. Once we choose, we are supposed to relax all the vertices which are adjacent to Y. So which are adjacent to Y? 5 is the weight or the distance of, or the cost of finding vertex Y from source S. So now the adjacent vertices are T, X and Z. So T is 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 is better than 10. So we'll replace 8 in the place of 10. So 5 plus 9 is 14, and 14 is better than infinity. So 14 is changed in the place of infinity. So 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 is better than infinity. So 7 has been changed in the place of infinity. All the vertices which are adjacent to Y are visited. That's why we'll dark or make black to this particular vertex to indicate that this particular vertex has been fully visited and discovered. After that, out of this remaining 8, 14 and 7, 7 is the minimum weighted path or vertex, so we'll go with this 7. All the adjacent vertex of this Z are, this is the only one, so Z to X. So 7 plus 6 is 13. 13 is better than 14. So we'll replace this 13 in the place of 14. After that, so now this no adjacent vertex of Z are remaining. So we will just dark this particular vertex and move further. So after that, the remaining vertex is out of 8 and 13 is 8. So 8 has been selected, and 8, the adjacent vertices of 8 are 13, 5 and 13 and 5. So what we do, we will go with this 8 plus 2 is 10. 10 is not better than 5. So we'll just remove it or neglect it. But 8 plus 1 is better than 13. So we will change or replace this 9 in the place of 13 and will declare that this particular vertex has been visited. Then the 9 is the last remaining vertex. The adjacent vertex of vertex of 9 X is 9 plus 4, this is 13, and 13 is not better than 7, so we will not relax this particular edge and vertex. So remain, keep it as it is. So no other vertices are remaining which are adjacent to X, and will just black out this particular vertex. So the minimum spanning tree what we get is S to Y, Y to T, T to X and Y to Z. So this is what the minimum spanning tree with the minimum or optimum cost that we achieve. This Dijkstra's algorithm will provide us the minimum or optimum cost for visiting a minimum spanning tree. But the limitation of this minimum spanning tree or Dijkstra's algorithm is it does not allow us to use negative weights in the algorithm, because negative weights are equally important in the graph. The reason is we will apply all the statistics when we are not able to solve it in a mathematical way. We'll convert into a graph, and in that case the statistics which are in a negative format should also be written in the negative format as well. So this strategy, if we apply in the graph, then Dijkstra's algorithm will not be able to handle all the negative weights. So we'll go with a new algorithm, that is Bellman-Ford algorithm. So this Bellman-Ford algorithm allows us, or it provides the facility of handling negative weights. What this Bellman-Ford algorithm is, this Bellman-Ford algorithm will get the graph, weights and a source. This is a single source shortest path algorithm. That is why a source also been provided to this particular graph. So initialize the graph and the source, then we will apply with the loop. So this loop will repeat number of times the number of vertices. If we have vertices around 10, so we will be repeating this loop 9 times. For what? For relaxing the edges. So 9 times, if the vertices are 10, then 9 times the edges of almost all the edges of the graph should be relaxed one after another. So 9 times we are supposed to relax the edges of the graph to get the optimum output. So this is what a Bellman-Ford algorithm suggests. After that, there is one more for loop which has been provided. So this for loop, this third for loop is provided for verification. This is known as verification. So this verifies whether after relaxation of the algorithm, relaxation of the graph, does almost all the graph has been relaxed well or not. So this is verified with v dot d is greater than v dot d plus w uv. If this is true, then it will return false, because if any vertex is having a distance which is larger than the u and d, it means the graph has not been optimum or not solved properly. That's why it will return false, otherwise it will return true. So this is a verification method. So if we apply this particular algorithm to this particular graph, then we will assign almost all the vertices as an infinity distance from the source, since source is a 0 at a distance. So edges has been provided, and in this particular graph we have got negative weights as well. So if we start from the first time, then we have to relax the adjacent vertices and almost all the edges in this particular graph. So let's relax. So 0 to t is a 0 plus 6, and the 6 is better than infinity, that is why we will make it 6. So 0 plus 7 is better than infinity, that's why we will make y as a 7. Then 7 has been, so we'll relax the next edges, that is y to x. So 7 minus 3 is a 4, so we'll make this x as a 4, and 6 minus 4 is a 2, so we'll make this 2, z as a 2 instead of infinity. So this is done here. So these two has been done. After that we'll relax the remaining edges. So x to t has been relaxed with a 4 minus 2, that is 2. So 2 is better than 6, so this has been replaced with the 2. So then we'll keep doing this procedure for 9 times. Since here this is a 4 times because we have 5 vertices, and if we keep relaxing all the edges for n minus 1 times, where n is a number of vertices, we'll get a final or the optimum output or a minimum spanning tree. So almost all, I repeat again, almost all the vertices has to be relaxed. Number of times? N minus 1 number of times. So if we do it, finally we'll get the final solution. But the outcome of Bellman-Ford algorithm is true or false. True, it means that we can get a minimum spanning tree, the proper output. False, we will not get, because it will not support this particular algorithm. So this is what a Bellman-Ford single source shortest path algorithm is. Thank you.